A lone man finds himself in a vast alien world, befriending three local villagers. He will attempt to discover how he arrived in this strange world. His sole wish is to find his way home. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the VG Pierce. I'll be coming at you with a Last Dream review, and this is going to be by the people of White Giant RPG Studios. And man, I love these old school RPG games. This is what really started it all off for me. Games such as Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, just to name a couple of big ones out there. And man, this is something that I've been kind of waiting to play. Very similar to those. You know, I've actually went and purchased the first Final Fantasy and the Final Fantasy 2 and 3 that did come out in the United States, just so I can get my hands around a old school RPG game. And this one right here really does a really good job of this. And so what Last Dream really tunes itself to be is that this game incorporates the best features of those classic RPG games and the replayability, and has lots of complete immersions in a vast world rich with a whole bunch of details for you to really roam around in. It's got 40 hours of dynamic gameplay, and on top of that, a whole bunch of side quests, about 15 additional hours worth, and it's interlaced with flashbacks to tell a good story. And you know what, it also has 50 mind-bending puzzles for you to go through for those little extra goodies on the side. And so we're just going to go and take a look at this new game, and we're going to take a look at all the characters. Now, the good and the bad thing is that straight off the bat, it just gets you into a real hard choice kind of mode, is that you have to choose 4 out of the 8 types of classes that you could play right away. And here, this is going to be no different. So there, with the knight, you can get this guy here, and obviously he's your frontline guy. Utilizes a lot of heavy armor, lots of big weapons and things like that. And here, this gray mage, he's the same way too, but he's just jack of all trades, and he's only really good in the beginning game. And he can do white and black magic, but he can't get to the higher echelons of the white and black magic. And then the monk here, he's good for the bare fisting, and he can do a lot of things without having a lot of armor on his side. And in the late game going, he can get really crazy, get those Fists of Fury, attack multiple times, and on top of that, he is going to be the strongest character when over leveled. And now you take a look at here the white mage. Obviously, she's going to be the person that's going to be curing. And don't ask me why they have male and female types, but this is the things that they have for your character classes, that they're already going to be picked by the gender. So it's the best healer of the game, and could get all kinds of great stuff to max out her healing ways. And the black mage, obviously, he's the guy that he gets the best black magic, best fire, thunder, and all this other great stuff that'll pack a wallop against these big groups of enemies, but only limited by his magic points, really. And the thief, well, the great thing about the thief is that, okay, not only can he steal from enemies, but he can also go around the world and pick chests in the town. Now, every time you pick a chest, it goes up by 1% that you'll be caught by the city guards, actually. And so the more you pick the locks of the chest in town, then the more likely that you'll get caught by those guys. But if you have a thief on your side, you don't have to worry about that. You can just go to these places and just pick their chests and just make off with their equipment from the townspeople. And even it gives you access to a couple of areas too. And you know, I have to say that the biggest downfall of this game, especially if you're going to be playing on the computer, if you're not playing with a game controller pad, then it's going to be very, very difficult and confusing to play on the keyboard. And right there it says character selection, press dash button to see the character description. What they mean by dash button is shift button. And really the dash button is because they're going on some type of control pad. So they even have an X button, which is the select button, which is also my space bar, stuff like that. So here the hunter, he's a guy that sits in the front or the middle row of battle, but he can actually get these MOAs that he can travel around on the land and make it to where you don't encounter so many little critters on the ground once you get a little bit over leveled, so that you get stopped all the time, and then you can just travel safer around on top. in the world. And lastly, the engineer, he utilizes the bows and knives, and he's average attacker but below average defense. But he does have something awesome. He can do a tunnel ability, and I have to say, this game has a lot of tunnels all around the map. So when you choose a class, this is pretty much the way to go to getting all those little goodies, out of the way places, and things like that. So here, I am going to choose a class, and you know what, I am going to have to go back to one of my saved games, and so that's what I'm going to do right here. And I don't know how to back up. Here we go. I think, there we go, there we go. Whew. I thought I couldn't back up, but there we go. So I'm going to load one of my past saves, and I'm going to go ahead and load this play in. This is 4 hours in, and as you saw in the first save, I'm actually now about 8 to 10 hours in. So I have a lot of good gameplay in this for sure. So now you walk around town, and yes, as you can see, it's just like the old school role-playing game. And even there are some places where if you just press the action button, there might be little goodies in these barrels, but I've already picked through everything and looked through all that stuff, so no surprises here. And this is going to be a town that I have already went through, but I will show you some of the action in this game. So let's go and take a look at it. This game is obviously influenced heavily by Final Fantasy series, and especially the old school Final Fantasy such as 1, 2, 3, and 4. But I would say that for the most part, it is really influenced a lot by Final Fantasy 6 or Final Fantasy 3 in the States. And the reason being is that you're on this world called Terra, and if you remember correctly, they had a Terra in the original game. So that is one of the things, and they also have chocobos in this game as well. A little bit of a rip, but you know, it works, I suppose. I haven't encountered a chocobo yet. Not just yet, but maybe that's because I don't have a hunter to capture these quote-unquote MOAs for me to travel on, and that might be the reason why I haven't actually gotten together with that. So I have to really pay attention to things like that. So here, I actually have a quest. I believe, yeah, I do have a quest. So I am gonna go and get. Oh shoot. I am going to go and get over to there. Now, on top of that Final Fantasy 6 reference, you also have to remember that these guys are also going to be having one town in which they have Locke or Locke on their side, and somebody called them Locke, and so it kind of stuck. And they also have other guys in there like Sid. I named my guys, one of my guys Sid as the engineer, but yeah, they have a lot of good reps here. Now the great thing about here is that, okay, in the old school games, you had to hit fight, and then you had to keep going, and then press all your guys, hit attack, and all that stuff. But here, I just can create a macro, and I already set one up in which all of them attacks, and my healer just guards himself, and then I just do the attacks when I know I'm going to win the game. So here's going to be one of the cool things in this game is that you can actually go and attack these items, and this is going to be a hunter guild thing that they're going to have. So I am going to attack this large slime, and this is going to be a nice big battle for you to kind of look at. So I'm not going to use my macros that does all the attacks and then the guard for my healer. So now I'm actually going to play a little bit more seriously in this game and just go ahead and get my defensive stance going for my guy, get some skill, and then I am going to do, let's see here, reinforced armor on my frontline guy, and then I have my man, my thief, he's on the front line, so we're just gonna go and steal some stuff. Yeah, and then we're going to get intense study, which ups my experience gained here. And as you can see, he's popping me pretty good. 100 health. I might actually lose this game, guys. I might lose this game if I'm not too careful. But you know, that is going to be one of the downfalls of this game, is that when you're playing this, as you saw earlier, the enemies that I had encountered in my random encounters, they just fell over pretty darn easily, okay? It was just like, dead. I just went and one-shotted everybody. But then suddenly I ran into this large slime, which is going to be a boss character, and definitely he does need to be more difficult. But it's just like, he's so difficult that my guys here isn't ready for this attack. And so I'm walking in here, and I'm probably gonna die if I'm not too careful. And really, I think I am gonna die, because if he attacks my monk one more time, that's gonna be lights out for him. And that's what I have there from top to bottom. I have a monk, healer, thief, and an engineer in that order from top to bottom. So now, as you see, I am looking pretty good, I would say so. And I'm just gonna keep healing. I wish I had better heals, but I don't. So we're just gonna continue on with this, and hopefully he doesn't end up killing one of my guys. So let's go ahead and do that. Stop stealing stuff, but I could continue stealing stuff and try to get. Oh, look at that! Get him, guys! And here we're going to keep attacking and keep healing. Yeah, definitely need to continue healing. I'm starting to run out of potions, but no problem. I'm just gonna do a healing steal and do more attacks. Ooh! Alright, good. There we go. Some health for you. Some more health for you. Ooh, high potion. Nice. Needed that. And now my guy, if he gets attacked in the front line, no problem, but I need to really watch out for him. So, oops. Let's go and get some high potion on my main man there and attack. Paralysis on my engineer. Oh boy. Come on, die, you little bastard. Oh man, he's not dying. And there we go. This might end up very badly. I don't have time to I don't really have time to stop, and I just gotta keep healing him. I'm just gonna be down one attacker. Oh my gosh, freaking crit me! That's what I'm talking about. There goes my healer. There he goes. I got one guy paralyzed. It might be over for me. But yeah, this difficulty really spikes in this game. It totally spikes like crazy, because right there, as you can see there was nothing I could do, and there's no real indication on how leveled your guys has to be. There's no level indicator for the bad guy saying, oh hey, you know, you might fare a little bit better if you just do this. Yeah, that would have been really nice. And there goes the other guy. There goes the other guy. So I need to keep my monk alive. Oh yes! I took him down. I took him down, guys. Woo! Victorious, baby! But unfortunately, they don't get any experience or SPP. Or SP. But I did take out the goo, and now I'm done with that. So now I'm going to run back to town and heal these guys up. Run, 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 run. Don't get into the counter. Don't get into the counter. Don't get into the counter. Come on, come on, come on. Almost there, almost there, almost there, almost there. Now I have to say that on this computer version, it is kind of laggy for some reason. It just kind of stops whenever it wants to. It just, not stop, but it kind of stutters sometimes when I'm just moving along. And so that's kind of weird. But it doesn't take away from the gameplay at all. And let's see here. Yes. Alright, so I spent a lot of money, and now I'm going to heal up. Oh, I got no money, so now I'm going to go and sell some stuff. Oh, you know, let's sell to this girl right here. Hello. Sell anything remains. Oh yeah, 1,600. Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot, baby. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. And we're going to stay, and just like that. Just like that. And basically, that is pretty much the whole kind of gameplay, as you can see. And there are other areas you can go, and I can actually turn in that quest to get bigger gold and bigger prizes at the Hunters Guild, but that's kind of far away, and I don't really want to do that. I just want to just kind of show you a little bit more of this game, and that's just one-shot beasties and just rolling those fools over. And right here, I'm about to head into what is called the Woods of Despair. And it's the Woods of Despair because you can actually use this as a shortcut to go through to the other lands, but it gets really more and more difficult each time. and I'm going to move along, and as you can see, the random encounters doesn't happen extremely often, which is nice. And since you do end up one-shotting a lot of the guys, maybe two-shotting them, this game does not hammer you down. It does not feel like, oh, every time you get into a random, like, oh no, you know, I was trying to keep my train of thought and want to do stuff. So that is a really good plus, that these battles, these random encounters are just flying by pretty quick. Yeah, maybe one or two shotting them is the norm, but if you're not one or two shotting them and you're getting into an actual real battle, as you saw with the large slime, then there is something a little bit wrong with your party, and you probably need to rethink that. So let's take a look real quick. So you can have the items and you can have the equipment, as you can see, and you can just do optimization, but we can just change that. And right here it doesn't tell you exactly what they give you when you hover over the things, but you can look at it when you choose it, which is a little bit bogs you down. Some of the menu options isn't that awesome, but I can't really take too much away from it because it does its job for sure. And here I can choose the skills, and for my monk I can learn some new skills, and this is going to be the nice part, is that you can learn all this great stuff for 100 SVP. As you can see there on the right side, I have 563, so I can actually learn this leg sweep, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. And that will give 50 damage on top of that, and will have a chance to stun the enemy, so that is pretty nice for me. And let's see, and you could do the level up. Now, when you level up, you don't gain anything until you actually get into the screen to level your guys up. Now at the top right you see that I have AP, and the cost of which is right there in the middle. So the attributes on the left, the cost of it is going to be in the middle, and then how much I gain is right there for the rate, and right there it tells you how much is going to be spent. Now you can level up, I don't know how high you can really level up, but it's pretty darn high. It's a little bit insane high. You can go, I know past level 70 for sure, because the achievement is level 70 plus achievement. But there you can see that it does max out, that you can spend 1,000 points on their max on each one of these attributes. And there on the right side is my current status. So I have 150 HP, 50 MP, attack 31, things like that. Now, the good thing is that, yeah, you get to customize your character, and every time you level up, you can really make it to where you can form yourself to be shoring up what is the weak point of your team. So if you somehow managing to get killed by physical attacks, well then just beef up your defense. And what about magic defense? If those guys are spitting a lot of fire or thunder your side, then you can just up your magic defense. Here are your preemptive rates so that you can attack first over them, your crit rate, your accuracy, and agility for dodging, and also stealing for your thief, intelligence to get more powerful magic spells, and things like that. So that is the nice thing. But the bad thing is that, as I said before, when you're on the overworld just traveling around, you don't really get a good feel for how well or how badly your guys are going to do in the next level. Ooh, as you can see there, I have some chests that I have not opened. So in that first bit, I was just one-shotting them all, right? But now, look, they got those mummies, and those guys are a little bit more difficult. Just a little bit, not too much, just a little bit, and I'm going to actually attack these little buggers in the front, because those guys I can easily one-shot, but oh my God. But as you can see there, my monk went and hit him, and it looks like it'll take more than one shot to hit him. Looks like it'll take 2 shots to kill him. So there we go. I'm gonna be gone. So actually this part of the battlefield is not too difficult for my guys, but they actually gonna have some surprises for me. So I actually can look around, and holding down one of the buttons, and for me it's the shift button, makes myself run faster here in this world. So I'll take it, and here I can get that recipe, spike shield, and now I get a rune staff. So now I can actually equip that on my priest or whoever, and I see it ups my intelligence on the left there by 6, but it takes down my magic defense by 10. So it's kind of give take. I'm not really too keen on upping my intelligence at the moment. I really would rather have magic defense. I'm not really a caster type character, and so it's not going to really benefit me too much if I do intelligence. Now I can attack the undead guys and really do a lot of damage to them in that respect, but nope, not gonna be what I necessarily need. So I can look at these specials, and as you can see here, you can get treasure maps to view where on the overworld where there is a treasure map. You can drill for it, as you can see there, and you can even do fishing and stuff like that. And there you can see the recipe. You can actually synthesize this recipe for this blind ring here that I have selected at this moment. And I can't do that without a synthesizer, so I can't do it right here in the world. I need to go to a synthesizer and do it. And on top of that, as you can see, I will need to have some stuff. I'll also need to have some of these valuables here along with it to synthesize. So it might say, oh, you need 3 wolf pelts and 5 bone heads and stuff like that, along with some money to synthesize that item. So that is pretty neat. A nice usage of that, and also you can sell the items as well, those goo and things like that, for money just in case you're lacking it. And here, oh, this one might give me a little bit of a trouble, so we're going to do some attacks. And we're going to go ahead and do holy water. Attack! Attack! Yeah, there we go. Well, it does heal those guys in front, but they started out at no loss of life. That's not a big deal. I did make it to where my priest has the highest preemptive rate for good reason, because if I don't have her acting first, then my guys, as you can see there, such as Sid right there, he's down on health. Well, he needs to get cured right away, so I need to get there before they start attacking him, and then he might die. So there you go. That's the reason why I gave her the most preemptive rate, which is really nice, because in the old Final Fantasy, I mean, I had to wait. I had to just kind of bite my tongue and go, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And there you see my monk. He is impervious to some things. I don't know if he's actually impervious to the, to the sleep, but he is impervious to some other stuff like paralysis and things like that. So there, my guys are going to level up. In fact, they all level up at the same time. Pretty nice. So I can actually go to that level up screen, and there you see my AP went up. It used to be like, what, 20 AP I had, so now I have 100 AP. But as I was kind of pointing out before, because you can really shape your guys up to whatever you need, then you end up, when you're leveling, you end up not leveling your guys at all. So what happens now is that now that I'm at, what, level 10 at this moment, I'm actually going to hold that level until I get to a boss character, and if I die to him, I'll just reload, and then I'll level up and spend all my skill points or AP points, and then there we go. We will have a the upper hand when we go and fight them. And so here is going to be one of the puzzles that they kind of talk about. And the really great thing is that usually in these puzzle areas, there's no enemy encounters, so you can really take a look at what you're doing to kind of form up. And so let's go ahead and do this puzzle with you guys. All right, so you know, I'm not going to give too much spoilers away, but for sure here, obviously you got to move this rock all the way to the left side and get into that hole. So it's a kind of a timing deal. So here, let's go ahead and start the ball rolling here. Okay, so like this. So I have to do this. This. There we go. And there you have it. The VG Pierce, he knows how to solve puzzles, baby. And there you see the spikes are gone, so now I can grab the cool chest, and it is a nice steel mail. Awesome. So that's pretty nice. So let's go ahead and equip that on over my breastplate, and there you go. Ooh, ups my HP by 30, defense up by 13, and magic defense by 4. I'll take it, baby. So there you have it, guys. You know what? Definitely the graphics are old school, so if you guys are used to seeing this, no problem. But man, this gameplay, it really brings me back. Now, I will say that for being a Final Fantasy, I guess, clone, it should have had a better story with the characters. Now, what made Final Fantasy so great was the character stories, you know? I mean, yeah, they even said it themselves. They named the world Terra. They have guys in there named Sid and Locke and things like that. And they really modeled this world after them. And it's really funny to see that they're not having these character stories in there. I would rather have it to where I see that, okay, it's great that in the beginning I get to choose 4 out of the 8 classes, but wouldn't it be better if it was a story revolving around them, and then guys just come in and out of your party, whatever suits them. I mean, that's how Final Fantasy was. You never knew who you had in your party. You knew you had yourself, okay, which was really nice. And maybe they should have made it to where whatever character you want to play, whatever class you want to play, then they'll just kind of fit. Maybe one of the other guys will be a good complement to this. So if you wanted to be a healer, then you would get a warrior type guy that would be, instead of cleric guy, somebody that's kind of morphs into that role. But really, it's just, I would rather see them come in and out of your party, so that way I'm not just limited to having these 4 guys for the, like, what, 40, 50 hours plus gameplay. And how often are you actually going to replay some game like this? I would really like to see that. But beyond that, it's definitely a good game to play. Definitely to get you going if you just kind of miss this type of old school gaming, and definitely I have for sure. So would I recommend it? I would, but I would rather see, I know they're making Last Dream 2, and if you guys are out there, you developers, make more character selections, not selections, but character stories, and make it to where they just kind of come in and out of your party. That would be really nice. I don't really like having just limited to just having a white mage. I want to see what the black mage is all about in my one playthrough. I mean, I'm not gonna think about playing this game after 50 hours. I mean, there are some people out there, but me, I play this game, I beat it, and then I might play a second game if I'm really feeling that good about the game, but not for long. It's only going to be maybe for a few hours. So there you have it, guys. This is Last Dream. Pick this game up. It's really cheap right now. This game came out about 6 months ago, and I just now picked it up for really on the cheap at the moment. So definitely do it. And this is the VG Pierced, and I'm signing out.